In this video, we're going to take a look at how to add the soldier from the Poly War Pack to your scene and then swap its model out with another character. So first things first, we need to actually get the character into the scene. To do that, you're going to want to search for the player with camera prefab from the Poly War Pack and drag it into your scene. Make sure that you have disabled or deleted any of the existing cameras. And depending on your setup, that may be all you need to do. But for now, if I hop into play mode, you'll see there's an error in the console at the bottom. And that is related to the fact that we don't have the inputs set up at the moment. So to handle that, I'm going to go to Edit, Project Settings, find Input Manager, and we will add the necessary inputs. In this case, I believe there are 5 that we will need. In particular, aim, shoot, reload, run, and interact. So I'm going to add 5 more inputs and start renaming them. So the first one is aim, and I want that to be the right mouse button, so mouse 1. Make sure that it is not an axis type thing, instead key or mouse button. Next is shoot, and in fact I'm just going to rename one of the fire 1 things to shoot instead. Next up is reload, which I'm going to bind to R. Then there's run. Naturally that goes on left shift. And then interact, which I think will be best on E. Just make sure that these are in key or mouse button, key or mouse button, key or mouse button. And because I renamed Fire 1 instead of adding it on as a new thing, I'm going to drop down the size back to 34. But with that, we should be able to hit play. And now we can walk around, aim, and shoot. Run and jump. However, this character does seem a little out of place compared to the locals. So I think the next order of business will be to swap out our character for one that is not so anachronistic. I think the character I'm going to go with is the cowboy from the low poly animated people pack. Cowboy, not cowbay. And which one looks to be the right one? I think this one is the correct one, so I'll go ahead and drag it in the scene. That does indeed look right. However, it is missing an animator component. So I'm going to go ahead and add that. Animator. Set its controller to soldier. And I think in this case the avatar is main rig avatar. More likely than not, your character will already have its animator and avatar set up, so you don't need to worry about that. However, in order to get the visuals to play nice with the soldier, go ahead and expand it and drag it onto it to parent it. And after parenting it, you want to make sure that the position and rotation are zeroed out. Looks like it's in the right place now. And with that, just disable the old soldier rig and make sure you remove the animator. Some of the scripts automatically check the animator that is on one of the children, and you want to make sure that it doesn't accidentally grab this one, instead grabbing the cowboy one. And that should be all we need to do to get the character moving around. However, as you'll notice, he is not carrying the gun, and that is because the holder script for usables and weapons has not been properly assigned to this new character. In order to do that, hop over to the player with camera object, search for the soldier usable holder script, and you'll find a field here called right hand. That is the thing that contains the weapons, or where the weapons are going to be spawned. At the moment, it corresponds to the old soldier. We want it to instead correspond to the cowboy's right hand. So I'm going to expand the cowboy's rig by holding Alt, left clicking, and go ahead and look for the right hand, or right wrist in this case. Now that's close to being enough, but if I hit play, you'll see it's kind of going off in the wrong direction. And if I go ahead and hop into the scene view, we can check the exact offset that we need. If I go ahead and rotate it, looks like about -90 degrees in Y is all we need. And then moving it -0.125 in X. All right. So we're going to create a container that is parented to the wrist and offset a bit. So select the wrist R and then Alt-Shift-N, which creates an empty child. We'll call this hand container. I believe the rotation was -90 in Y and -0.125 in X. And then instead of having the right hand reference the wrist, we reference the hand container that we just created. And with that, yeah, that's looking more like it. And if you wanted to, you could tune it a bit more to make sure that it offset properly and rested in his hand. But you get the idea. We do now have another character that we can run around with, and that should cover it for this video. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave them below. And if you'd like to pick up the Poliwar pack for yourself or watch more videos, the links will be in the description below. Until next time.